outpacing and even just outright overpowering Hanami just instantly. And where Dagon really starts to shine. But not China has the hamper working overtime act, meaning that massive boost in Earth's energy is in effect, and it's definitely hitting all the stats, or how we see its might. This stat boost includes its speed and more importantly its strength. Now, don't get me wrong, there is no slouch in the speed department that's based on a pretty easily scaled magnitudes of my card, meaning that not any bulk under the effects of the overtime amp should be significantly faster than that. And in terms of striking power, we see that Nanami is considered a physical huge. This fact is important for Dagon scaling because not only do we see Dagon react to Nanami in his fight, but we also see an outright take Nanami's ratios into damage, which should place his durability pretty high, especially when you consider that one of the ratios that he forces into component and striking control. Dagon resilience is something to get pretty consistent mention of throughout his fight with characters, and it is shown on many occasions by his consistent attacks of everybody except Doji and Wow. While he's clearly not at the top of the chain physically, it's still obvious that Dagon is quite the powerhouse relative to the average change he's taken. And when looking outside of his stats and observing his acts and abilities, we see that Dagon has a decent defense. In his fight, we see that he can fly, create large swaths of water that completely surpass the likes of the defense element, create water bridges strong enough to hold that intact and great hockey, and potentially many more as mounting deposits that Dagon has more than he does. On top of all this, we see that Dagon has a domain expansion that he's able to do even without it's in this domain. Dagon can summon an onslaught of Shikigami technique, and in this barrage of Shikigami hits, they're able to tear the economy and have their ability to release the Night Sun, only really being saved because and stop the show. Overall, even while being the youngest and weakest of the disaster for his family, Dagon has some great easy feats that make him gain nearly any
Remember why you became this? You wanted to help people. And girl, you're just getting started. You know what's next. Get your graduate degree. That's how you can change this place for the better. Yourself, be a patient, the whole community. You want to make change? Well, university is all about you. Local university, set course for change.
Oh, Vienna, we're just confused? How's the heck?
I want pretty bad there.
What do you mean by that?
My browser is boring.
Oh. Just like with Dagon, Hanami is on the weaker end relative to their fellow disaster spirits, but they are still an immense force to be reckoned with in the grand scheme. Much like Dagon as well, Hanami also gets most of their feats fighting multiple opponents simultaneously. It shows off their ridiculous resilience that has everyone through, maybe more not. Not only is Hanami able to survive 5 separate black platforms and a strike from Toto moving cloud, but Hanami is also on top of this, able to simply take a ton of punishment from a black flash away to Yuji, and Toto pulling off crazy rage. Still, if there is one thing you need to know about Hanami, is that they are extremely tough. And on top of being tough, Hanami is also fast enough in combat to react to the attacks of Yuji and Toto, and when given enough time, is able to even start predicting and reacting to the attacks of Yuji and Toto with the assistance. Along with being super durable and pretty fast, Hanami also has physical shrinking power that isn't anything to sneeze at, as they're able to draw blood from Yuji with his attacks. Now, just like Dagon, Hanami is a decently powerful individual, even when you just look at what he can do in close quarters. Hanami really starts to shine, though, in the acts and ability department. Hanami's wood manipulation allows them to create structures varying in size, speed, power, as well as an assortment of wooden attacks that can prove dangerous even to a great one like Ao and Toto. Part of Hanami's plant manipulation also allows for the creation of first buds and a field of cloud, the former being a spread of bud-like attacks that attach to an opponent's energy, and the latter being a field and flower that lower the bloodlust and intentions of whoever fighting. And the economy is in a fight for enemies. So to get the job done, they can pull out their trump card. The first of these last-ditch effort abilities is a flower on their shoulder that, in layman's terms, shoots a shit ton of curse energy out to obliterate the opponent. And the real piece of the whole economy domain expansion. One we unfortunately did get to see like other curse spirits, but an ability that, just like all of the other disaster curses, should possess a shirking technique that can close any gap Hanami may have in terms of speed. When you combine Hanami's toughness along with all of their other abilities, much like Dagon, it becomes clear why they hold the title of special curse. When it comes to raw firepower and destructive ability, Jogo is hands down the disaster curse's piece of the whole. And Jogo's power has been put on display numerous times, even though it has mostly been up against higher level opponents. Once Jogo really starts to get active in Shibuya, we see him casually incapacitate characters like Maki, Nani, and Naobito, all of these being semi-grade 1 to grade 1 fighters. I've seen people downplay Jogo because he didn't kill Maki or Nani, but it's pretty clear that Jogo wasn't taking anybody there seriously, and therefore isn't indicative of his true AP. We know that Jogo isn't going alone because when he does, we see that his fire blasts create much larger waves of destruction, and if his normal heat blasts aren't enough somehow, Jogo even has enough firepower to damage Sukuna with his massive meteor if and if all else fails and he decides that he needs to bring out his own expansion, I think Injaku's words in chapter 134 of the manga support the idea that Jogo's attack potency and efficiency would be even above the likes of massive meteor, considering that domains are generally superior to massive techniques and sorcery. Now, aside from his high levels of attack potency, Jogo's speed should be higher than that of Dagon and Hanami, considering that Gege said Jogo wouldn't be one to fight, and Naobito and Nanami pretty explicitly state that Jogo is on an entirely different level than Dagon. In contrast to his high AP and speed scaling though, we know pretty soundly that Jogo's durability is very low. In the same chapter extra statement that Gege makes where he says that Jogo is economy, he also makes sure that Hanami's durability is Jogo's. Because of this fact, Jogo is frail enough to beat Toto all the way back to the good boulevard, and we know that he is already this black man status makes Jogo a useful but fragile component of the disaster. But in spite of this fragility, Jogo is still a quick and lethal curse that even competent soldiers would fear. Speaking of fear, the final curse spirit we need to cover before moving to Getzo scaling is Nagito. The curse spirit that can kill a human in a dozen different ways. Whenever discussing Nagito and his viability in a fight, battle configuration, this technique makes it nearly impossible for it to take from his individual's soul in its authority down into its energy anymore, which is not. It's like, on top of being nearly just a near less Nagito can transfigure him and bypass their ability to damage.
affect your everything. With faculty plus.
confirms pretty matter-of-factly that if Geto had not divided his forces between himself, Tokyo, and Kyoto, he would have been able to defeat Akotsu. And this is not even a far-fetched idea, considering the fact that Geto had already displayed the ability to go to Kyoto with 3 negatives simultaneously and not even take him all that seriously. So, make what I said extremely clear. Just with the person, Geto was able to summon an army of mercenaries and thousands. A swarm of these mercenaries are strong assassins voluntarily and if Geto had been going all out against Yuta, Kinjaku confirms that he would have been able to defeat him. What Volume 0 also confirms about Geto and his technique is that he's able to absorb his special grade curse spirits, as the crux of his entire plan relies on him to and capture Raven, giving him the strength to deal with someone on level. Now, obviously, this doesn't actually come to pass, but when supported by the fact that we see Geto bring out a special grade of his own, and the fact that Geto seems to have no trouble with the army, it shows that under the right circumstances, he's the likely to exact the person on it most likely would require some form of pigment to be dealt with them before they can but it still leaves the option on the table for him to turn the tide of the battle with the disaster curses into a very powerful and very unique ability. And if a curse technique that would already make Geto qualify as a special grade wasn't enough, we know that he's also a close quarter specialist. This is Playful Cloud, with which he is able to hold off the combined effort of Yuta and Zero at the same time. keep in mind, Volume 0 Rika should be stronger than the Rika we see in Princess with stronger than all of the attributes and as you might be able to guess, being stronger than even a weakened Rika is no small feat. Because not only does this mean you are strong enough to completely immobilize Yuji with physical force, but it also makes you stronger and more durable than Manga Yuta, a character who can palm Granite Blast from Ishigori. Ishigori having the highest Earth energy output in the entire volume. Volume 0 Rika being superior to all of that, at least in terms of physical output, and Geto being able to hold off for attacks with Yuta's, means that Geto is very casually one of the top tier HPP characters in terms of physicality. You should also be absolutely trouncing Yuji's attack versus loud. And in terms of speed, we see that Kinjaku with his body and Thirst energy is able to easily dodge Piercing Blood, which is an attack that had Yuji struggling while fighting Yosu. Volume 0 beat also support this, because Rika is shown to be able to react to the category Yuta is able to show relatively combat while restricting himself pretty consistently. And to top off all of the ridiculous physical feats that Yuta has at his disposal, we also have to acknowledge his insane durability, which in the Volume 0 movie, Geto was shown to be able to hold up against the force of the Black Flash from Yuta onto minimal space. No matter what. All this being said, Geto is still going to get 4 unregistered special creatures at one time, still fighting for clear monsters right. So, will the strength and versatility be enough? Or only there are so many different unlike the other it isn't clear whether Geto has all of the necessary pieces to truncate disaster spirits, or if the curses have what it takes to defeat Geto. For starters, Geto is pretty clearly the superior physical fighter when compared to the disaster curses, and not really all that close. Dagon, Hanami, and Mahito all have very, very direct scaling that is relative to or below that of Yuji's in terms of speed, strength, and durability. And as I mentioned, going over Geto's stats, no matter how you slice it, Geto is stronger than that by a pretty significant margin. With Playful Cloud, he gets hard enough to do it, and Rika is stronger than the one that Yuji. He's strong enough to block that range attack. Like Yuta, he's fast enough to deal with the likes of 2 special green level combatants, and Kinjaku shows off the ability to casually dodge blood, which isn't something that Yuji ever showed in Law. Now, for all those wondering why I keep using Kinjaku as a supporting benchmark, it's because we know that his Earth energy and physical body is the exact same as Geto's was. Gojo actually confirms this in Chapter 90, and if the 6 eyes are telling Gojo that the 2 in body and curse energy are the same, I think we can pretty safely say that they are the same. Now this is important because cursed energy and innate physical strength are the 2 things that compose the sorcerer's overall physical ability. It's why Yuta is so strong in spite of his lack of innate strength, because his curse energy makes up for it, and it's why Yuji in terms of physical strength is so overwhelming, because while his curse energy isn't anything to write home about, his innate physical ability is. So with that being said, I think it's pretty safe to say that Kinjaku and Geto are relatively hard. I'm not saying they're equal, but like, physically, these 2 should be on a plane. That being said, we have a pretty easy way to show that Geto is mopping the floor with 75% of the disaster curses when it comes to a fist fight. And in regards to Joko and his stats, well, we don't have necessarily a straight-up alignment or a straight-up comparison to Yuji in the same way that we do with the other curses. It's clear that durability-wise, he wouldn't hold up to many attacks from Geto because his durability is lower than that of Hanami's, and while his speed showings are impressive, nothing that he does actually implies or demonstrates that he would be faster than Geto in any capacity. He should be well beyond Dagon in terms of speed, but considering the fact that Geto should be as well, this statement doesn't mean much in the context of this match, placing him in a similar, unfortunate category as all of the other Nurse Spirits. Versatility-wise, he also has the Curse Spirit's beat because of the sheer quantity of curses that he can produce and use to swarm his opponents. While Mahito can conjure up several transfigured humans, Jogo can send a small swarm of bugs, and Dagon potentially being able to conjure Shikigami outside of his domain expansion, it's pretty clear to me that even when all of these arsenals are combined, they don't even begin to compare to the likes of Geto's. And this fact, combined with the fact that he can amp low-level curse swarms to the point that they are easily trumping the durability and strength of characters like Choso and Yuji, I think it's pretty clear that Geto, even while fighting a 4v1, doesn't have the numbers to defend it in the slightest, and he'd actually be working with a numerical, massive advantage. Because he has enough curses to simultaneously attack the entire curse group and still have some left in reserve, attacks like Hanami's Curse Buds wouldn't be a problem for Geto, as it would be well within his ability to react to and block with a Curse Spirit, a tactic that we have seen him pull off numerous times in the series. Curse Spirit manipulation also would give him the freedom to attack each Curse Spirit one at a time and slowly whittle down their forces, and to completely be honest, between you and me personally, saying slowly might be me downplaying Geto's strength, because he could probably tear through the legs of Jogo and Dagon with just a few swings of Playful Cloud if he really put his all into it. And on top of just being able to tear through their forces and eliminate them if need be, Geto would also have the option of absorbing the disaster curses and adding them to his own squad. This literally means that as the disaster curse spirits lose allies, Geto would be getting stronger and stronger, adding more and more allies to his side of the battle. The one Hail Mary that the curse spirits have is their domain expansions, because as weird as it is, we don't actually have any proof that Geto himself ever had a domain or even a counter domain kind of technique, which would leave him vulnerable to domain expansions and their sure-hit effects. You may argue that it's absurd to say that Geto as a special grade doesn't have a domain, or even something like a simple domain, and while I would probably agree with you, I think for the sake of charitability, we should say that Geto himself is devoid of a domain expansion. And in the event that, say, someone like Mahito opens his domain as soon as the battle starts, it's possible that the Disaster Curse Spirits eke out a win and take down Geto immediately. However, I don't think an action like